Hello and welcome to another edition of Paranormal Activity and Mysterious Stories. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is just a video of some rare and vintage UFO photos that have been taken throughout the years. Second, I have this video from Reddit which shows strange lights or some strange lights over Area 51. This video here, I'm not, I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but I didn't have a lot of UFO videos to show, so I figured I'd include this. I know some people have a UFO fix, and I know I do. But yeah, this I'm not too sure about. Could be, one of these cloaked crafts. Thought I'd include it. Let's see. I have this video of an interview with Gary McKinnon. He was the British guy that broke into the NASA computers and discovered the documents that indicated we don't have, or that we have off-world officers, and that we have a space fleet. But he talks about that in this video. Let's see. This website here is, some news that people have been talking about for a while. There's some guy named, let's see, what is this guy's name? Tim McMillan, who had stated a few weeks ago that, December 2nd was going to be some big day that they were going to release some information. And apparently this is the information. Breaking news: UAP intelligence report was on NSA server that British had access to, and it's actually it's more about this here. Confirmed Navy previously unreported 2019 Triangle UFO incident. I think this is more to do with it, and this is just the fact that people had access to it. I think it was accessible to the public. Let's see, and then this is just a photograph, an artist's recreation of what these pilots saw. Yesterday, I talked about an article stating that astronomers had discovered some strange object, or coming towards Earth, and they didn't know what it was. Well, this is about this object, and they still don't know what it is. Apparently, it's moving around our planet, and they don't know what it is. Let's see. This is an article about a 9 miles wall with a 12,500-year-old painting is discovered in the Amazon rainforest. They discovered it last year, but it was just released recently. And then last, I have this article about the effects of human intentions on water crystal formation. Yeah, apparently, if you think, or even, I think you just have to write a word on a container that holds water, and depending on the word or your intentions, when you freeze the water, it forms different crystals. And I went to this article, and I know I first read about this being done by this Japanese doctor, Masaru Emoto. This is this is when I first heard about this. Okay, and this was in 2012. But I find it interesting that they don't even mention his name in this article. But anyways, I'll have links to this article and to this video here. This is the guy that discovered it, though. So anyways, let's go to this first video here. Like I said, this video is just, let me turn this, we don't need the audio here. It's just a video with photos showing, all the UFOs that have been captured in the past. So, I know some people still want to say that this could be some kind of anomaly, or just a dust particle or something. It might not necessarily be a UFO. I mean, you know what? I can't deny that either. But but we are seeing these crafts. Look at this guy. I think this guy's even pointing at this one. We're seeing these crafts in the sky, and people today who want to say that this is, or that these crafts that we're seeing today could be some rogue nation or, some billionaire out there, making his own devices. No, well, if that was the case, they would have had to have been around in the past, because, some of these photos date back to 1870. So, yeah, I don't think there were rogue nations back in 1870 making UFOs. But of course, I will leave a link to this video in the description. You can check it out. Okay, now this one here, I can go full screen. This was, you know what? This is a Reddit video. I always have issues with these Reddit videos. So I'll just play as much as I can. But this was apparently taken at Area 51.
You see how many there are?
Wow. Did you hear what the guy said? Did you see how many? Yeah, there are a bunch of them. Wow, that's some pretty incredible movement there. Huh, I was able to play the whole thing.
Look at that. Huh. You see how many there are?
This is a pretty wild video. Yes, like this guy here says, I want to believe too, but I'm not getting full confidence on this video. Anyways, I'll leave a link in the description. You can check it out and determine for yourself. Okay, let's see. This video, of course, I'm not going to be able to play the whole thing. But, yeah, a lot of people, yeah, we know. I think there's enough video of UFOs or obvious, clouds that aren't clouds, that are obviously. Let me turn this down. Yeah, let's see. I don't know, It definitely has, I can't even call this a lenticular cloud. Or at least I don't think it would be classified as a lenticular cloud. It's definitely strange. Definitely strange. I'll leave a link. Check it out yourself. Okay, now this is Gary McKinnon. This is his BBC interview about what he uncovered from hacking into NASA. And I think his whole case has been dropped. I think this guy's free and in the clear now. But let's listen to what he has to say.
Did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
There's a group called the Disclosure Project. They published a book which had 400 expert witnesses ranging from civilian air traffic controllers through military radar operators right up to the chaps that are responsible as to whether or not to launch nuclear missiles. So some very credible, very relied upon people, all saying that yes, there's UFO technology, there's anti-gravity, there's free energy, and it is extraterrestrial in origin, and we've captured spacecraft and reverse engineered it. And these are, very solid, reliable chaps in charge of launching nuclear missiles. So,
what did you find inside NASA?
One of these people was a NASA photographic expert, and she said that in Building 8 at Johnson Space Center, they regularly airbrushed out images of UFOs from the high-res satellite imaging. And using the same blank password hunting technique, I got down to Building 8, got a few blank passwording machines there. And what she said was there. There was folders called filtered and unfiltered, or processed and raw, something like that. I got one picture out of the folder. Bearing in mind, this is a 56K dial-up.
It's a very slow internet connection.
Oh, crikey, yeah. Dial-up days. A 235 megabyte picture, and if you're talking 5 minutes a megabyte, obviously impossible to download. Also in a NASA proprietary image format, not a GIF or a JPEG or anything. So using the remote control program, I turned the color down to 4-bit color, the screen resolution really, really low. And even then, this picture was still, juddering and coming onto the screen. But what came onto the screen was amazing. It was a culmination of all my efforts. It was a picture of something that definitely wasn't man-made. It was above the Earth's hemisphere. It was kind of looked like a satellite. It was cigar-shaped. It had geodesic domes above, below, to the left, to the right, and both ends of. And although it was a low-resolution picture, it was very close up. This thing was hanging in space. The Earth's hemisphere was visible below it. and no rivets, no seams, none of the stuff associated with normal man-made manufacturing.
Is it possible?
Wow, that's pretty amazing that he was able to see such detail, that he could see that this craft didn't have any rivets, which, if you listen to other people, no seams, no rivets always indicates alien, where the ones with the rivets and seams are our craft. But anyways, I'll leave a link if you want to listen to the rest of that. It's a 4-minute long video. Let me go on to this next one. Okay, yeah, now this article, it's definitely related to this guy, Tim McMillan. He'd been saying for a couple days or a couple weeks about some, information, this new information that was going to be coming out today. And this is it. Confirmed Navy's previously unreported 2019 Triangle UFO incident. And I'm not too sure how this is related to that, but this says the United States government is currently sharing UAP information with its closest allies within the Five Eyes, according to a piece of information obtained via the Fast Walkers article in the debrief. According to journalist Tim McMillan, the NSA Secure Network, NSA-NET, held specific U.S. UAP information. It was via this secure server by which the intelligence sources received the data presented in the intelligence report. The debrief was told the accompanying photo was captured from within the cockpit of an FA-18 fighter jet with a pilot's personal cell phone. According to 3 U.S. officials who had seen it, the photo showed an unidentified silver cube-shaped object. The report is said to have indicated the object was hovering or completely motionless when military pilots encountered it. All 3 officials agreed that based on the photos, the object appeared to be at an altitude of roughly 30,000 to 35,000 feet and approximately 1,000 feet from the fighter jet. 2 other intelligence officials said they received the information via NSA-NET, the NSA's official intranet. An additional source said the report was distributed via the CIA's IntelliLink. And this is from Tim McMillan. And, this is actually the article here. I think this is... No, this is another article about Tim McMillan's report. On Wednesday, the debrief's Tim McMillan gave us the most detailed look yet at the Pentagon's ongoing research of unidentified flying objects. UFOs are what the government refers to as unidentified aerial phenomenon. Publicly announced earlier this year, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force is run out of the Office of Naval Intelligence. Its mission is to detect, analyze, and catalog UFOs. So, like I said before, this is the artist's rendition of what they captured, and there's a video that I presented in another one of my videos. It was called 57 Species, and it was about it wasn't Corso, I think it was Cooper or someone. He states that there are 57 different species visiting our planet, and all of these alien species, they're not like one monolithic entity. All of these different species have different levels of intelligence, different levels of technology. Someone mentioned in the comments that, how these aliens wouldn't have the technology to get someone out of a tree. Well, yeah, maybe, that specific race or civilization didn't have that technology, but let's say another species from another planet, they would have more advanced technology. I think it was Colonel Corso. He talks about in the video, the 57 different species, how there are some alien species that have spaceship that have to actually land on the planet, and then a door opens up, a ramp comes out, and the people walk out. Other civilizations have spaceships that can hover in the air, and then they can do like a tracking device, or like a beam me up, Scotty type of thing, where they can either float them down, or some of them have the ability to open and close portals. And other species have the ability to do the beam me up, Scotty, where they can break down the physical or the cells, a being molecule by molecule, and then reassemble them molecule by molecule. Yeah, so out of all of those different races that are out there, all the different it's not all one monolithic entity. There are different species, different levels of the technology, different levels of intellect, and also they talk about how there is one species that knows how to operate their technology, but they don't necessarily know how to build it or how it works, because they were apparently like a slave race out there, one time, and they, let's say they were a slave race for a long period of time, and then they eventually got their freedom, and so they understand how to work all of the technology, but they don't necessarily know how to build it. Or it would be like a car. Like, I know how to drive a car, but I don't know how to build a car. I mean, I could drive any car you give me, but I wouldn't be able to build a car. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the situation with some of the alien species out there. Again, there's so many. There are just so many there yet, but they're definitely not one monolithic block that are all similar. But anyways, let's go to this next article here. Yesterday I talked about how astronomers had detected an object that was coming into our atmosphere, but they had no idea what it was because they said it wasn't an asteroid. Well, check out this article here. A slowly moving object of unknown origin flew very close around our planet yesterday before returning to the solar system. Now, this article is December 2nd here. So this just came out. So they're talking about yesterday. The strange mini-moon, officially dubbed 2020 SO, was discovered on September 17th. It has been classified as an asteroid, but scientists still have no idea what it is. If it is definitely not an asteroid, then what is it? Scientists don't know. The diameter of the object is about 10 meters, and it flew over our planet at a distance of less than 50,000 kilometers. This is only 13% of the distance to the moon, which is within reach of our planet's gravity. This means that this object will return in a few months. The mystery of the object's origin is related to how it flies. It moves at a much slower speed than the vast majority of asteroids, which usually travel at speeds between 11 and 72 kilometers per second. 2020 SO is moving at a speed of just 0.6 kilometers per second. Previously, scientists suggested that it could be a Surveyor rocket accelerator from a rocket launched in 1996, and we're waiting for its arrival in order to determine whether it was an accelerator or not. As a result, the object flew past the Earth, but apparently it is not an accelerator. So scientists simply summed up, this is not an asteroid, but we do not know what kind of object it is. Well, I would say that is definitely a definition of a UFO. If they don't know what the object is, that's called a UFO. And if this thing is moving at 0.6 kilometers per second, when asteroids usually travel between 11 and 72, that's something walking as opposed to flying by. Yeah, I'm going to say we're probably being surveyed by some extraterrestrial entity. I mean, what else would you call that? That's very strange. Anyways, I'll leave a link in the description. You can check it out. This article here, 9 miles wall with 12,500-year-old painting is discovered in the Amazon forest. One of the largest collections of prehistoric rock art in the world has been discovered in the Amazon rainforest. Acclaimed as the Sistine Chapel of the ancients, archaeologists have found tens of thousands of animals and human paintings on cliffs stretching almost 13 kilometers in the Colombian Amazon. The antiquity of some of these works goes back in time as 12,500 years, something evidenced by the depiction of animals from the Ice Age already extinct, such as mastodons and giant sloths. These animals were seen and painted by some of the first humans to reach the Amazon. His images give a look at an ancient lost civilization, such is the magnitude of the paintings that will take generations to study them. Wow. And look how high these things are. I wonder if they, yeah, I think they talked about how they must have used some kind of a scaffolding to get up this high. Well, this is very interesting. I think there's a video. Nope. Wow, that is incredible. Well, I will leave a link in the description to this page. You can check it out. Okay, now let's go to this last one here. The effects of human intentions on water crystal formation. Like I said, you know, these crystals are being formed by a person's intention. And here, look at this, polluted water before prayer. Is human thought directly intertwined with our physical material world? Countless publications and peer-reviewed scientific journals have attempted to answer this question, and over the past few decades, some very interesting statistically significant results have been observed. A paper published in Physics Essay, for example, explains how the quantum double-slit experiment has been used multiple times to explore the role of consciousness and its relation to physical material reality. In this case, meditators were apparently able to collapse the quantum wave function. The study received a 5 sigma result, a rating that was able to give CERN the Nobel Prize in 2013 for finding the Higgs particle, which turned out not to be a Higgs after all. The study is one of multiple providing evidence suggesting that mental activity, the human mind, and intention can compel physical matter to act in a certain way. Well, that's kind of interesting, because that would mean, you know, like the power of prayer would kind of be real then, or at least, yeah, have some effect. But anyways, yeah, I'm not going to read this whole article, but I went through this whole thing, you know, and like I said, I've heard about this, but, you know, I remember hearing about it from this guy here, Dr. Masaru Emoto, who was the guy that came up with this. Let's hear what he has to say real quick.
And ears.
Let me look at.
Hair.
Can you imagine?
これ
が、
So,
1時間の使を
after 1 hour of the prayer,
こんな風に書いて
and this is it. The change.
この世のものとも思えない美しさ。
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, you know, I think the audio is really bad, but basically he's talking about how, you know, before prayer, this is what the water looked like, and then after prayer, this is what the water looked like. And the way they do this is they freeze this, and just before the water freezes into ice, it apparently forms into a crystal, and they photograph it. But he did a whole study on this. So anyways, I will leave a link to this also in the description. That is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I have more things like this. Take care.